Hi everyone, hope you're well. I'm back in The Sims 4 and I fancied having a go at a cute community lot. So I'm in Willow Creek and I'm just doing a bit of a refurb on the library. So the library I think came with a base game. It's looking a bit dated, but I did want to keep the vintage feel of the library but just freshen it up and give it a bit more of I wanted it to look classic, but like it had a bit of money spent on it. So that's the the vibe or the look I'm going for. Have to let me know if it works. A couple of things was the roof. Really struggled with the roof. I'm still not happy with the way the roof looks. I didn't like the original one either, so it's not really my favourite part of the build. But I do like the interior of the library, and I think I don't look at the roof too much to get upset about that. Yeah, the top of the build is not my favourite, but I wanted to keep that room at the top, which is what made getting the roof shape looking nice difficult, because the roof it's just a bit awkward. And the original one, the bit that sticks out of the front, that was set back a little bit, but they also had the overhang, so it wasn't just a roof. You also had the overhang. Now I deleted that because I just thought that balcony upstairs can be open plan. It doesn't actually need to be, it doesn't need a shelter over it. The balcony below that has obviously got the shelter. So this is kind of what I come up with, and it's only from this angle that I don't like the roof. I think from the other sides it looks okay. From the front it looks okay. It's just from that side angle, so I just decided to let it go and be like, I'm not just going to focus on that, because otherwise I won't do the rest of it. And then it was deciding the colour. Now I decided to do it as the bottom half in brick or stone, and I think at the very end I do change the colour of the brick. Just I thought that one was a little bit too washed out looking, so I went for a slightly different brick. But I do keep the greenish colour panels for the upstairs of the building. And then I've gone for a darker colour. Instead of the white beams, I've gone for a dark brown and a dark brown fence. And I just, although that could probably look a bit dated, I think in this one, because the fence is a bit more of a modern one, it's a bit, the other fence is quite chunky, this one's a bit more streamlined. I just think it all seems to work together. And then I don't know if I've reduced the amount of beams, but I didn't keep beams in the same places, and I thought it was a bit overkill with beams on the first one, so I did try and reduce it a little bit, but still make it look like it's got that structured support, because I do think it's important to make it look like it would function as a build in real life. So the windows, I was going to try and do the build inside after I'd set the windows, but I did have to change a few because the bookshelves are quite big, so then trying to fit them in, but I did want to, I thought no, because you have to work around the windows if you put them in first, but it didn't quite work like that, so I did have to change a couple of the windows, but overall kept it pretty much as you've just seen. And then it was a case of deleting all the furniture and trying to make this inside space look refreshed, but I still wanted it to have this feel like it looks quite vintage. But I thought them bookshelves, I know they were base game bookshelves, but I thought they don't really fit in with the like older fashioned library look either, so I wanted something that looked a bit more traditional. And then I wanted to keep that open stair space there, so that you can see, like you can look over the balcony and see the downstairs of the library. I think that's quite, it looks really grand, and yeah, I just think for an old building like that it would be quite a grand area. So I've kept that, and I've added a chandelier. And then the upstairs I've made more of a, there's computers and it's not just a library upstairs. So the downstairs is like the traditional library. You've got your books area. There's a children's books area as well. And then the upstairs, you've got your computers. And then I do change it because originally I had computers at both sides of the stairs, but I changed it so that there's a little cafe area, which I've used the bubble tea counter, and then added some tables. So there's like a seating, coffee type area, and then there's the computers, and then a few bookshelves as well. And then I've used the room at the top as well I've put it as like a hobbies room, but I was thinking it could be used for like Sims 4 clubs, and you could use that space for that type of thing, or but like if you want one area to bring Sims for skill building. So it's not just a library, it's more like a community hub. So yeah, the very top floor is for like hobbies. You got your computers on the middle floor, and then the traditional library on the ground floor. This is just the little office. It was there originally, but it wasn't sectioned off, so I've made it as a proper librarian's office. And then this wall isn't staying here, it was just a placeholder so that I could get the bookshelves in the right place. And then I've made it look like they are built in between the beams. I can't remember what are they called? Yeah. Anyway, they're built in between them, and then I've tried to put them between the windows. This is what I mean about the windows. I didn't really want to move them, but I just thought it makes sense to make the most of the space on the inside of the library. So I did move them. I kind of gave in on my own little. I was trying to keep it where I'd set the windows. I had to work around it, but I didn't stick to that. This is the little children's library, and these new shelves work really well for this because they're all colourful, so it looks like children's books. So that's quite a nice little addition to the library, because obviously they wasn't around in the base game, but I think it makes the children's library really stand out because you've got the other books look a bit older, and then the children's books all look like bright and new. So yeah, and then the back of the balcony, I wanted to make it like a kids activity space. So again, because we've got the activities on the third floor for adults, I wanted a little activity area for the children as well, so that it's perfect for like family gameplay. And then I've added a rug in this area, and I just think because the original floor here was like the jigsaw bright colours, and it really stood out against the wooden floors. But I thought with this rug, it can be bright, but it's not part of the floor like that. That jigsaw print was a bit too much, and I just thought a rug and some chairs, it looks like a really cute area for kids, and it was like a bright little corner for kids. So I think that fits into the library theme. I was deciding what to do with this area because originally I was going to put a couple of park items, but I realised there's a park right next to this lot. You wouldn't have to use it in this lot specifically, but because there is a park right next to it, I just thought it's a bit pointless adding that. So I just added some decoration at the back just to finish the plot off. I had some trees and some plants, and also at the very end, I'm not sure if it's on camera or not, but I do add a dumpster as well, because obviously there's the bubble tea, so I thought there's probably going to be some rubbish building up on the lot, so I wanted to add a dumpster as well, and there was room at the side of the trees to add one, so I added one there. But yeah, this is just like a decoration area. It's not an area that can be used or anything, but I just think it finishes the look of the build off. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like a small space, isn't it? Really at the back. So I just wanted to decorate it, and then at least it looks finished. And then I just carried on the pavers around the edge, so it looks like it fits in the world really nicely. Yeah, and bordered it off with these hedges, which I just side down, and it looks like a nice little planter area. So whoever's in charge of the library obviously takes care of the lot well. I had plenty of couches. I also had chess boards, but they are not on the inside. They're all on the balconies. around the outside. Now, when I do add them, I add far too many. So off camera, I did change some of the chessboards, and I've changed them for games tables. And also there's Don't Wake the Llama for the kids, which I put on the back patio of the ground floor because that's the kids area. And I also put one of the jigsaw tables, one of the new jigsaw tables. So the kids have got loads of activities on the back balcony, as well as the reading nook. And then the adults areas are all separate as well, because you've got these little cosy seating areas. So if you came here with another sim, you've got these little areas that you can sit down. And there's plenty of skill building while you're on this lot. The toilets as well, I didn't do that on camera because I just think bathrooms are pretty basic. So I did redo the bathrooms. I've kept them exactly the same size. I've just changed the tiling, and then I've added a baby changing table that comes out from the wall in each one. And also I've just put a smaller worktop. So there was 3 worktops before, I've just put 2, and then a toilet. So the sink's in one of the worktops, and then you've got the baby changing table and the toilet and the sink. So they're pretty basic, but yeah, I just didn't film that because toilets are just, they take time to do, but they're all pretty similar, aren't they? There's not a lot you can do with a toilet room. So yeah, I didn't film that bit. But if you do want to download this, it is on my Sims 4 gallery, so Simmer Hills on the gallery, and you can place this in your game. And if you do, please let me know if you do end up using this. It'd be nice to hear from you if you do enjoy it, or if there's anything you change with it. Yeah, just give me a message on here and let me know. But we're going to start decorating the middle floor, I would say. The middle floor of this build. The stairs for the attic room was driving me potty. I didn't really know where to put them, and then I figured it would make sense in this central area because you've got the massive grand open space. So the only thing is I didn't want to waste it because this is quite a small space upstairs in the attic, so I didn't want to have an open balcony area like on the middle floor. That's the only thing. There wasn't really enough room for it in the attic room, so I didn't add that there. But yeah, these are all the computer tables, and then in this corner where I've just put a sofa, that's where the bubble tea counter ends up going. And then that side that you can see now, that's where the tables for the bubble tea cafe go. So that side's taken up with that, and the other side is like the computer area. There is still some bookshelves up here. I've gone with wooden bookshelves for the ground floor, and then the middle floor is all white bookshelves. I've gone for a white theme on there because it is quite a dark, obviously we've got a lot of dark wood on the walls and on the floor and the stairs, so I decided to go with white for the middle floor just to brighten it up. And because obviously you've got the computers and stuff, this is probably the more modern area, and you've got the little cafe, so I thought I could get away with it on this floor. But if you're not keen on having a mismatched wood from downstairs to upstairs, you could change all these. I think most of these bookshelves I've used have got a darker swatch as well, so you could just change the swatch if you're not keen on having a different colour shelving downstairs to the upstairs. But for me, I just thought this area seems a little bit more modern, and they can't change the fabric of the build, like the walls and everything are as they are, but they can upgrade things on the interior such as the bookshelves. So that's what I've gone with there. The top floor, this is the hobby room, so I really wanted a piano in here. My idea of this is you could either have a club, a Sims get together where you all do one activity. So I've set it up like there's a central object that everybody's painting. I wanted it to look like it's set up as an art studio, so they change what's in the middle depending on what the art class is that day. So I knew we had this little setup, and I thought it's perfect, looking like it's something ready for somebody to paint. So I've done that, and then you could just change it if you want your Sims to paint a certain object. You could just change whatever's in the middle, and then I've added loads of like canvases, blank and filled in, so it looks like the room's really well used. And then I've added some storage for like paints and any art related items that could potentially go in these storage units. It took me a long time to find what I was looking for, but I was looking for it's like a drawers, but it's for an artist, and I think it's in the statues. This item, but I think it was in the statues thing, and I was looking in like surfaces and decorations, and it wasn't where I expected it to be, and I'd not used it for a long time, so I couldn't really remember where it was. So that was just something to finish the room off, and I think it just ties all them objects in together. The downstairs just changed slightly because I added a sofa next to the stairs, so there's an extra little seating area, but it brings a bit of colour in. So these chessboards that you're seeing now, the ones on the back near the planter area, they changed to kids items, so that's where they Don't Wake the Llama and the board game one goes. Because I think we had, what do we have, 2, 4, 6, I think there was 8 chessboards at the beginning, and I just thought I can just change, there's too many, like we don't need that many chessboards. So I did change some of them out just for different objects. And yeah, there's so many skill builders in. Oh yeah, there's the telescopes as well. There's 2 telescopes on this lot. So that, what skill bin? Is that logic? It might be logic that the telescope uses. So there's just tons and tons of skill building here. And I love the new puzzles as well that you can do on the tables. So in the librarian's office, I've added like the puzzle boxes on some of the shelves, and I've also added where the map is at the minute under the stairs, I've actually blocked that in with a wall eventually, and then I've put a bookshelf there that's full of boxes and things, and it looks like it could be full of jigsaws or different games for kids. So I thought that worked well when I changed those tables. So yeah, all these little things, they just add up, and then you feel like you've got a build that makes sense. I wanted this area to look modern because of the bubble tea counter, but then I just thought it really doesn't fit in with the rest of the build. So I ended up changing the chairs back to a more traditional look. And I thought, especially with the white bookshelves and stuff, I thought that was enough of a refresh item to bring in without I thought these tables was just a bit overkill with the chairs, and it didn't really fit in with the look of the room. So I did end up changing them to a more traditional looking table and chair set, and it just fits in with the library a lot better. So yeah, let me know if you like the difference, but I just think these fit in a lot better. Yeah, so we're nearly at the end of the build, but let me know if you prefer the original or the refreshed library, and if you have any suggestions for any community lots you want me to have a look at. I don't know, I can't think of any other ones. Maybe this whole row, maybe I could do this whole row, because these are all base game builds that are a bit sparse or a bit old looking. Not keen on the red on the building next door, so maybe that's one I could have a look at. I think there's a gym and a nightclub down here. So, or if you've got any other suggestions for community lots you'd like to see have a bit of a refresh, then let me know in the comments. But please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. I have been pretty good at getting some videos out recently. I want to try and keep it up. It's like a bit of a New Year's resolution to keep up with the videos this year. So I've just uploaded a Planet Zoo video, so let me know what you think of that one. I'm thinking of doing another habitat build on that next, and then hopefully another Sims 4 video after that. So a bit chopping and changing, but it just keeps it fresh for me, like going back into the games if I've had a go on a different one, and then coming back to it, and I just enjoy it more if I'm not just sticking to only one. But I don't want to be on like a lot of different games. I like the certain ones that I play, but having a bit of a change as well. So yeah, that's this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you like the new look library, and like I say, it is on the gallery now if you'd like to download it. Take care everyone, have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.